Why do we even keep episode numbers? It should just be like, welcome to the fucking state of CS. There we go. That's my opening line, everybody, because we all look so fucking fresh and dandy. Jason went on a suicide run this past weekend.
I am reamed the fuck out. Holy shit.
Welcome to another episode of State of CS, guys. It's just going to be me and Moses this week. We're just going to be shooting the shit a little bit. And really, this is just going to be us shooting the shit because we have about an hour and a variety of kind of loose, open kind of topics to get into, really. Not too much to focus on apart from, I guess, the Summit, which is the most recent tournament that just happened this last weekend. We got Austin coming up, so we can talk about those tournaments. But then there's some other shit to get into. Like, Jason, why the fuck are you playing so much Pub Battlegrounds? You should be playing CS. It's your job to talk about CS, man. Like, how dare you do anything
playing
but
Pub Battlegrounds?
but
where'd you get that shit? I don't play that fucking trash, bro. Counter-Strike's the only game for me. Actually, Chad and Henry and Sadicus have been trying to get me to play some of this Pub Battlegrounds. They're all into it. Pansy's there as well. She's playing a lot of it. And
Pansy's hardcore into that game, man.
I've resisted the Siren's Call. I have not been playing that game. I've actually played it twice in my life, and I don't understand the enjoyment of playing a fucking game where you are promoted to hide in a fucking closet and stay alive as long as humanly possible. You can spend 15 minutes playing the game, looting all these goddamn houses, building up this badass arsenal, never ever see anyone, and just get shot by some motherfucker in a tree halfway across the fucking level. It seems so fucking brain dead. Where's the excitement? Where's the excitement, Semmler? There's nothing fun about that.
Or get blown up because you got caught in like that red zone with all the explosions
for the life
in it.
Of me, man, I'm just like, fuck that game. I would rather deathmatch. I'll rather, I don't know. I'll do a lot of other shit. Bang my head against a wall, for instance.
Dude, you know who's really into it? I played a little bit with Natu yesterday, and
yeah, he's mad into it, isn't he?
Dude, he's fucking hardcore into it, man. Because he was like, I haven't played it too much. I've only played like 97 hours of it, and I was like, I've played like 6 hours.
I think Pansy has like 200 hours of it already.
Jesus.
Yeah, she's logged some fucking hours, dude. Matt's putting some hours in. I think he was in the studio all weekend while I was out of town playing it. He plays like when he's not casting, leading up to the show. He's always playing it. So good 5-6 hours a day. I think he logs. Seems like a complete fucking waste of time.
Now, what are you talking about, man? What are you talking about? Don't you know that Pub Battlegrounds is going to be the next big esports? These guys are forward thinkers, man. Forward thinkers. They see the game. They see the lay of the land, where it's going. It's an FPS. You can get hype at moments, and you can just shoot the shit and cast.
Can you get hype at moments?
I feel like it's the FPS MOBA, you know? You just got guys farming for fucking half an hour.
That's fucking Overwatch, bro.
No. Like, dude, Pub Battlegrounds.
Okay, I see where you're going with this. Yeah, continue. Yeah, I like this. Go.
Like, it's a rice game, you know? They just sit and farm and farm and farm by looting. And then there's like one fight, and then that's it. You're dead or you won. You know, like there you go. You know that. League of Legends, fair. Dota, come at me. You know, Pub Battlegrounds. That's the new thing. That's where it's going.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like obviously, I think it'll have like an esports arm, just because that seems to be the thing to do at the moment, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But I don't. It feels like more of like a game just like made for streamers, right? Plenty of downtime to chat. Some crazy shit happens like in a quick burst. You go a little bit fucking psycho, and then you're done. And then you blew your load all over the place. You got to clean up. Reload, join up back in the next game, have your sandwich, recharge the batteries.
Plenty of opportunities for salt as well, just for that very reason that you mentioned earlier. Spend 20 minutes farming up. Oh, there's a guy with a shotgun. Just killed me. Great.
I've been informed that maybe my opinion is formed off of the fact that I just am not good at the game. And completely fine with that. There's probably a lot of truth in that statement. I just don't give a fuck enough to get better at the game. Fuck it.
You see, you and I think Natu was like he what was it, not a seizure, but like he was definitely close to being apoplectic a couple times, because my tendency when I see somebody is to just start running at him, right? Like, I've got a shotgun, I'm going, and not just like, but wait, it's like, we have the advantage, we have the tactical advantage, we pinned them into this one area, blah blah blah, and I'm just like YOLO running in with like my shotgun. So I mean,
I've had a couple.
Maybe I don't know how to play the game either, man.
I've had a couple tactical advantages in that game, and then there's just some asshole with a fucking sniper rifle on the hill that's like 10 miles away, who just shoots me. So it's like, all right, done.
maybe that's going to be the next thing we do. You know, clearly we have something to talk about here, and maybe that's the next podcast that we'll start doing. You know, we'll call it the what can we call it? The pub. No.
I mean, the tough part is
train.
we just spent like 10 minutes bashing this game, so we're not going to get any support from the developers, obviously. That ship has fucking sailed.
You kidding me? No, man. This is what they thrive on. This is what they thrive like. Good publicity, bad publicity. It's all publicity.
Yeah.
Boom. See, there you go. They're just like,
Right.
Thanks, Semmler and Moses, for talking about our game on a podcast in a different FPS title. Maybe we should start talking a little bit about that FPS title.
Yeah, we could probably start getting a Counter-Strike.
I mean, well, like the point being is that just like the little bit of drama, obviously, because we needed a little bit. It had been a quiet week, and you start getting that itch, the cold sweats. Start kind of like scratching yourself a little bit, right? Because you need that fix, man. You need to get that fix. And so, unluckily for Shroud, he unfortunately had not the strongest performance this weekend in the summit, and he got roasted. It looks like a little bit by the community because he streams other games, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Doesn't just play CS every hour of the day.
Yeah, what a piece of shit that is, isn't it? Like, how dare he?
How fucking dare he, in his free time, on his stream? Which is interesting, considering the fact that you got play. That's the thing, man. This is where it's just like if you're winning, you do whatever the fuck you want. You don't care because you got Astralis, where it's like Dupree's just like, hey, how much pub battlegrounds can I play or whatever, like, or you got Device like, hey, anybody know a good game coming out, blah. It's like that's fine, man. You guys are winning tournaments. You're doing great. You want to play another game? Go for it. But it's a bit rich coming from me because I've made that joke about Shroud in the past. It's like, hey, maybe you're streaming a little bit too much, But it is like to the point now where if all you do, like my viewpoint, people evolve, Moses. You change. Like you take information in as you grow, as you mature, and if you're not an idiot, your viewpoint tends to adapt with that information. And I'm pretty firmly in the camp now where it's like if you're gonna play 10 hours of CS a day, you're probably gonna blow your brains out. So go and play some pub battlegrounds.
No, but like you don't have to be playing Counter-Strike, right? In the sense, I mean, you can be watching a demo, you can be reviewing your own demos, you can be practicing smokes, you can be learning more smokes on a map. I doubt he knows every single smoke on every single map. So why not improving that? I mean, so I mean, you're exactly right in the concept that winning solves all the issues. If they're winning, if he's like their best player on their team, if he's lighting up the scoreboard every fucking map, obviously no one gives a shit what he does in his free time. And by the way, I think he should have free time where he's allowed to stream and play other games if he wants to. That's completely fine with me. That being said, I would love to know like how much does Cloud9 practice? I mean, if they're only hopping on for 3 hours of scrims a night, and you're paid to play the game of Counter-Strike, and you're paid to be to try and become the best team in the region and the world, 3 hours a day is not fucking enough. It's not even close to enough. And I think yeah. I know I've been doing these rants quite a bit recently.
Yeah, I know, man. I set you up. Did you notice that? I just pushed the pedestal forward a little bit.
You just put the soapbox right in front of me, and you started sliding me forward. But no, it really is. I've been taught by Sponge and Henry G just to take the angle from these days of just the don't give a fuck angle. Stop giving a fuck about things. So I'm kind of in that camp where I'm just at the point where. To me, I don't see an issue because I don't have the opinion that Shroud wants to be one of the best players in the world. I don't have the opinion that he wants to be one of the best players. I don't have the opinion that he wants to be on one of the best teams in the world, and it shows. So I mean, what are you going to do? Like we can't force anyone by making 10 Reddit posts about how lazy he is to become motivated and to become one of the best players in the fucking world. So I'm just changing my expectations, right? He had 2 years of hype and excitement of where he was supposed to be a godsend to the North American scene, where he was going to be the next big player. We can obviously all see the skill, like the raw mechanical skill he has when he plays the game, and it's other areas in which he's lacking. So he hasn't shown any inclination to improve that over the past year and a half, 2 years. So I mean, what the fuck do you want to do about it? Like,
well, in the case of like Shroud, like it feels like they should perhaps like Cloud9 should perhaps follow in the footsteps of Astralis and NIP and other teams that are starting to make use of sports psychologists, etc. Because it feels like to me, if on your stream, dude. All right, let's put it this way. It's like Olaf Meister laughingly saying, like we don't choke. But I mean, the thing is, like in reality, if Shroud is capable in a loose environment of just doing mad crazy shit the way he does on his stream, right, when he's playing CS, there's just got to be like a mental block that's keeping him from getting there. Or, and I think I remember vaguely like some clip that I saw not too long ago where he was just saying, like, I'm not supposed to be the star on Cloud9 anymore. Like, that's automatic. That's Stewie. I literally just set everything up for them. Where, should we be looking to Shroud to be the man to carry anymore when he has firepower like Automatic and Stewie, and where it seems like the team is perhaps setting it up so that
no, but the
those
issue
are the
is
guys
he's not
who are
even
taking point.
First of all, that's fucking bullshit excuse. Can we get away from that excuse yet? Why do we keep having this fucking support player excuse? Here you go again, just fucking pushing me towards the goddamn ledge of the mountain. Like this, it's just so ridiculous. Like, I guarantee if we went back and watched a demo of Cloud9, like there's not going to be any instance where you look at the way Shroud plays the game and say, oh, look, he really set Stewie up nicely this time. Like, oh, look at all that work he did to set Stewie up through that smoke. I doubt we'd see very many of those, and it definitely not enough to make that kind of a role and that kind of a thing, important in the game. So, I mean, I fuck that.
You know what's up, dude?
It's not a sports psychology. You need a fucking hypnotizer. What are they called? Hypnosis.
Office space.
Yeah. Where you need some motherfucker to come in and be like, "You are the most motivated piece of shit in the world. You are a fucking device. Start studying fucking heat maps." That you need some fucking crazy mind control shit.
It's going to be the opposite of Office Space, where basically the guy croaks as he's hypnotizing Shroud. You will become God of CS.
Yeah, it's.
But Shroud all of a sudden takes over.
Yeah.
I mean, to speak to your point, what was really interesting to me, and that's why I was tweeting during that match, right? The finals, when it was Tarek, Stewie, and Swag, right, with DDK, who was trying to, DDK, I got to give him props. He was actually like trying to get like some kind of conversation going, but it felt like every answer that he got was, to me, just like painting this picture of where it's like, oh, so like, do you guys have strats, or what do you do on cache? How do you approach it? And it's like every time the answer was just like, oh, we just do default, and we feel like that's the best way to play cache right now. And it's like, yes, by playing default every round, you're basically saying, we're just looking for duels, actually, bro. We're just going to sit here and wait for them to walk into our crosshairs or look for a fight or do anything like setting shit up. Nah. Just sit there and kill the motherfucker when he comes around the corner. That's all you got to do. Like, that's what cache is now, or it feels like that's what a lot of, or what it seems like that's where we're at now. It's just like, hey, if you got a CZ or a Deagle or an M4 for that matter, just sit and hold an angle and you'll be all right. They'll come to you. You
can actually, not quite that bad, but no, there is like certainly like these teams that are getting to like the best teams like FaZe, like Astralis, like SK. You can see like the plan of action, and then even a little bit with G2 and Navi starting to creep in. You can see like them aggressively like taking map control and progressing. But there is like a certain amount of success you can get with just like running these kinds of defaults and just relying on the individual skill. You can be like a top 10 team, right? You can like be on that fringe, that low tier 1, high tier 2. And be decently successful with it. You're just not going to get much farther than that. So, it seems kind of like that's a little bit of where they're at. But yeah, the big thing is this is where obviously the Cloud9 players are pretty content with what the product they're putting on the table. Otherwise, they would have made some changes at some point within the past year. I think here's the big thing. I think the thing that's going to promote some kind of a change in Cloud9 is going to be if another North American team can ever fucking overtake them as like the best team in North America. Now Optic beat them here. Optic did better than them at the end of the year, but like still, like with all the roster changes, it just doesn't feel that way, does it? Like with Optic, with Stanislav going to Liquid, with Liquid bringing in Twist, you still, it just feels like everything's kind of up in the air, and Cloud9 still just retains that spot just out of default. And until some team like firmly wrestles that away from them, I think they're going to be content to just sit and fucking be the best team in North America.
It's a harsh world, Moses. I know. It's tough.
It's just, it's beating me down, Semmler. I'm just... I used to be so bright and hopeful, now I've got fucking bags under my eyes. I'm jet lagged. I've slept like 6 hours. I was sleeping in the fucking DX Racer chairs at the ESL office yesterday, just trying to catch a power nap.
And then I could just picture
listening to motherfuckers playing pub battlegrounds all day.
You're like a puppy, where your limbs are just like, going like this, like, no, Stewie, don't go through that smoke. No, Stewie, no. Sator's like, no, Moses, it was just a dream. This is a nightmare. Wake up.
Oh, you wake up, not a dream.
You see a stream in front of you. It is Stewie jumping through a smoke. You're like, my nightmare has become my reality.
It's like a Clockwork Orange, except like they have my like eyes fucking hooked open, just watching Shroud stream over and over again. Does just never end.
And
Shroud just top
putting
fragging.
eye drops. You know,
It would be Duncan as well, wouldn't it? That motherfucker.
He would be the one. He would be the one.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what was pretty funny about that finals as well is where like I think it was like at DDK at one point he asked Swag, you know, it's like, hey, did you do any kind of preparation? Did you do anything different? And so I was just like, nah, I just kind of played the way I do in ESEA, just did that. You know, it's like that's all you need. Like Swag is so good that's all he needs to do. He's just like, I just pubbed it really, just kind of did what I wanted, and I still stomped all over these fools. It's like.
Swag was one of the most ridiculous players I ever played against in CS:GO. He was so fucking hard to play against, so fucking annoying. But yeah, no, he's sick. It was cool to see him back. But I mean, if you look at it, if you want to, being the situation that I'm in, reamed out, jet lagged, I will just turn everything into shit. So the fact that Cloud9 brings Swag to this event just tells you they aren't planning on making any fucking roster changes. Otherwise, they would have brought someone who can actually compete in Valve events they can actually have on their team. But it just goes to show you that they like this 5 they have. And Swag coming in was just like, yeah, we know we're only going to be able to use him for this one event. Not going to be permanent, obviously. And we'll just bring him in and then get back to business as usual of being mediocre.
Sweet Christ.
It all goes depressing, Semmler. It all bring him back down to my level. Emo. Emo and reamed out.
I think I get out. Bring me back. Like that's it is interesting. It is interesting, man. I don't know. At least if we're talking about the summit, at least you got to give it to Optic. I mean, they definitely showed some fucking solid play this weekend.
Had a sick tournament as well. Like Mixwell was a fucking monster.
Yeah, he's fourth ranked in ratings.
Yeah, he's probably the best opera we have in North America right now, if I'm honest with you. And he's Spanish.
How painful was that to say? I mean, seriously, man, how painful was that to say that sentence?
It's not even painful anymore. I'm numb to it, Semmler. I'm numb.
I just want at some point, dude, we're gonna be talking about this, and you're just gonna see the bottle of bourbon. I'm just gonna hear like a, the pump, and yep, there it is. There it is. Product placement. Thank you, Heineken, for sponsoring the show.
Yeah, thank you, Heineken. That was drank over the course of 2 nights.
Just saying. That's actually that's all right. Two beers a day. That's
get home for the.
I mean, you're in Germany too.
Down.
That's some self-restraint.
Yeah. Well, I also have 2 bottles of Yanko's family's homemade rakia sitting next to the table. I haven't dipped into that yet, so that could be dangerous.
Bathtub booze, really?
Listen, he tells me his grandfather brews a beautiful bottle of rakia. Haven't experienced it quite yet. One's apple, and I think the other is plum, which is like the standard flavor of rakia in Serbia.
Dude, it's like, but I love that, man. Ever since I came here, in like the Nordics, right? But especially like this whole belt, this whole area, there is really that culture of like each one has got their thing, like rakia, and then what was the Hungarian drink? Like Apollo's girlfriend at one point, she was Hungarian. She would bring back booze whenever she went home, and she would bring back this shit. And I mean, it would taste like turpentine, whatever, like plum flavored turpentine or whatever.
Palinka.
It's lovely,
Is that what it's called?
I love it.
Palinka?
I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, Palinka.
Traditional fruit brandy.
I mean, it was good in a hair curly way, but Sweden schnapps. They make their own schnapps during the holidays and stuff. Like it's fun to be able to like just.
By the way, I'm a big fan of Sweden, but how fucking pussy do you have to be to have schnapps as like your fucking liquor you're known for? Jesus Christ.
Schnapps is hardcore. Are you kidding me? There's like so many different flavors and varieties to it. There's some horrible shit that tastes like what I imagine nail polish remover tastes like.
Exactly. Why would you want that as your shit?
Because they have some like twist. Well, no, that was actually first Christmas I spent with my girlfriend's family, her brother and her uncle. And this was before I'd experienced schnapps, right? I was living in the good studio. We were drinking fucking whiskey every day, right? We didn't know what schnapps was. So go to Christmas. And it's like the tradition is like you sing songs during these big family meals, and it's meals that last like hours. It's fucking meat and bread and fish and all sorts of, it's fucking heavy. And so you realize you need the schnapps, because if you don't have the hard liquor in your belly dissolving that food, you're just gonna go comatose after a while. But you can drink because you're eating so much, right? And so it balances itself out. The only problem is those assholes didn't tell me is that when you take they gave me that fucking nail polish one, the horrible shit. And then they said, you take a drink after every song. So I'm like, oh, okay, fair enough. And they kept filling my little shot glass, whatever. And I was taking a shot, and they were all sipping.
Yeah. These motherfuckers, devious bastards.
So they're giving me the most horrible shit I've ever tasted in terms of alcohol, and they're letting me, and they're watching me obviously this whole time, because I'm definitely at this point just getting a little bit red in the nose, and just letting me take shots the entire fucking night. I'm like, oh, great, thanks. They're like, you handled it pretty well. Welcome to the family. It's like, okay. I get it. The hazing, the Swedish hazing at Christmas dinner. That's some hardcore shit. But if you get a chance, like, I highly recommend it. If you can do like a Christmas dinner in Sweden, that shit is awesome. Is definitely top 10. We'll say top 10 experiences. It's pretty good. All right. We sidetracked into a very interesting story. Yeah. What was it?
We were talking about
we were talking about Mixwell.
Yeah, we were.
And being saved by the Spanish.
Yep. When has that ever happened before?
Yeah, shit, man. It's been a long time since the Spaniards have done anything, hasn't it? Yeah. Well, no,
but either way, what I did like from Summit was Adren from Gambit was back. That was good to see. Adren's, because he had a really bad Star Series. Yeah. So at Summit, seeing him like at that level was really, really cool. I quite enjoyed that. Let's see, what else did I enjoy? I actually didn't get to watch too much of Summit. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was in San Francisco doing the social life thing.
I just caught a few games here and there. I was all over the place in Stockholm at the time.
I did see Yanko and DDK wore really, really short shorts on the desk one day, and I'm pretty confident I saw their testicles.
Well, I mean, considering you spent a weekend in Yanko's apartment too, I mean, maybe that's
No, I had a hotel. I had a hotel. Stayed away from that shit. But yeah, testicles and all. What is this short thing that's going on? That must be like a European thing.
It is,
because they're doing it over at ECS as well. They have like that. ECS has like a couch. It doesn't have a desk, so they're doing the short thing over there. So DDK is just fucking rocking those things halfway down his thighs.
But like with the bone white British legs as well.
Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it?
Bro, you're in a studio. It's not like you're outside in the sun, sitting in the patio, sipping on your sherry or whatever the fuck.
He's gonna burn in that Malibu sun. It's gonna be tough times.
Well, especially if they keep going out on the ocean. Bardolph is taking that boat every day, dude. LA sun does not fuck around, especially if you're sitting in the ocean. You better be dousing yourself in plus 50.
Did you see the next level casual racism that Yanko had at ECS?
No, what was this?
Or no, I think this was at Summit actually. Yeah, this was at Summit. They were all sitting on the couch. They're all having their little segment, and they brought up the fact that they went on the boat, and Yanko just turned to James, and he's like, I wish I was impervious to sunburns like you, James. All right.
I was actually wondering about that, though,
It's pretty nice.
Because the other day, right? Because, no. What? Just because of like skin tone and like the clothes that you wear, right? Like white to repel the light. And it's weird how it works with skin, because like white to repel the light, repel the heat. Black like absorbs the heat, right? Am I getting that wrong, or am I getting that right?
No, you're getting that right. Yeah.
Yeah. But then it's like when it comes to skin tone, if you're exposed to a lot of sunlight and genetically you're supposed
I would assume it has something to do with
how does that work?
Sunburns don't have anything to do with heat. They have to do with like the UV rays that you're absorbing from the sun. So while it may reflect heat or absorb heat, this is very scientific in an area we are not extremely knowledgeable to put out into the public world. And then also skirting the line of casual racism. So Semmler, we have not taken this to a good place.
What are you talking about? I'm being totally objective about this. I mean, and isn't it terrifying that it's gotten to the point where we can't even, it's just like, all I want to say is like, if you got black skin, and like, do you get sunburn, or is it better at dissipating the UV rays, or the blah, blah, blah. But like, you get, like, just talking about it is scary now. People are so out of their minds. Shit. I don't know. All
I
right.
just googled. Why can why don't black people sunburn?
Okay, fair enough. What's the answer? Do we have an answer?
I don't know. The number one result is from BuzzFeed, so I'm gonna skip that. Don't really trust BuzzFeed for that. Skincancer.org. This sounds
Okay.
reputable. This is just skin cancer, not skin burns or sunburns. All right, fuck it. Let's move on. I'm tired.
Let's move on to the fact that all right, we dropped there for a moment because Philip Neubauer, that's Philip with 2 P's, Neubauer, happened to DC.
Philip with 2 P's. What the fuck is wrong with the German people? Why do you need a second P?
There's so many questions.
The first P does the job.
Why would you,
like
willingly take yourself out of the holy land of internet, which is Sweden, to Germany, if you want to produce internet contact? Sound.
It's probably has to do with the fucking shit brand of schnapps they have over there. You wanted to get back to some of that German beer. German beer and sausages.
Dude, yeah, great German beer. Water is what they call it, I think. Synonym.
I'm not getting involved in this. No, but Coldzera, I mean, yeah, obviously consistent, and that it helps because he's so consistent. They just continually set things up for him because they can always rely on him. And now he's got Fern next to him going off as well, and now he's got Phelps, and those guys are kind of like taking turns being dominant. So, yeah, that team is pretty frightening, and Cold is just like. The level of consistency he has is unreal. It would be so. I think he's only had like 2 events where he's been like negative since he joined the professional scene, which is fucking madness to think about. If I'm honest,
see. I'm literally pulling up. No, hold on. That's for this event. I want player stats.
Oh, I've got a hammer going on. Hope you can hear that nice and loud.
Actually, okay, hold on. Players. I'm just gonna pull up Cold's fucking stats here so we can take a look at this shit because it's kind of. It's kind of true. It's kind of fascinating.
He's had 1 negative rated event since ESO 1 Cologne 2015, which was his first event with Luminosity when he joined. And that was IEM Katowice 2016, where he was 0.95. So not too shabby.
The fuck?
That's fucking unreal, isn't it?
The fuck? That's that's over a year. And
it's almost 2 years now.
No, hold on. IEM Katowice 2016 was like the last time he went red, right? At an event.
Yeah, so that's over a year.
And hold on, let me see. He had 1 event at ESL 1 New York where he was at less than a 1.1 rating. What the fuck?
This guy's a monster.
This guy is unbelievable. It's like I don't do this often enough, where it's just like, let me go and look at this this particular player's rating stats because these things are so. Most of the time, I find like they're pretty misleading, or it's like you need context to really make sense of this shit. But if you just look at it in like a general aspect, if you just like, it's just like, oh yes, at ECS Season 2 North America, he was plus 111. It's just like, all right, plus 153 at ESL Pro League Season 5 North America. It's like, what is this madness?
Get fucking wrecked. Absolutely fucking wrecked.
What still blows my mind is that there's that picture of him, like that fan picture where he's just like, like huddled up to Fallen and shit, and then a couple years later, actually Fallen, I'm just going to hard carry your ass. Is that cool with you? Fallen's just like,
absolutely. I'm along for the ride, baby.
Yeah, seriously, man. And I mean, got to mention Fallen actually had a green event as well. So seems like he's been kind of under the gun, under the microscope for a while now. Is having a bit of a drop off in form since.
Let's do this. Let's go to Austin. Austin's coming up this weekend. What you got?
Shit. Well, I mean.
Okay, well, Group A.
We got no SK, so already.
Group A is Hellraisers, Gambit, Heroic, and Luminosity. Who you got getting out of that group?
Heroic and Gambit, easy.
Ooh, Heroic and Gambit. All right.
Yeah.
You no love for the Hellraisers, the Razors of Hell?
I have love for the Hellraisers. Angel is a baller. Love that guy. And Stico and Zero, like they like the guys on that team seem to be really coming together, like as a unit. It's taken a long time, and it's impressive more than anything because they speak English on the team. It's like it's not even like they're communicating in Ukrainian, etc. It's like they're communicating in like an international way. They have an excellent coach in Junta, and just the pure experience on Angel as well. And considering Angel has had like a crazy increase in form over the past 6 months,
Right.
where it used to be that you just kind of like wrote him off as like, oh, he's riding it out. You know, he's kind of like one of those guys who's just kind of floating in the middle, and you can never really expect a star performance out of him. But he's never going to be like horrible. But he's, you know, he'll be. It's like he's become one of the key players for this team, which I find to be really interesting considering he's also leading the team, in-game leading. So he kind of throws that whole like, oh, you can in-game lead and, you know, be like, you know, subpar. You know, he kind of throws that out the window now. Angel really is like a key part of this roster.
We have a lot of in-game leaders kind of throwing that out the window, to be honest with you.
Feels like it's kind of, well, I mean, Fallen, it kind of like led the charge, I guess, but
yeah. And then I mean, Glaive is kind of there with Astralis, not lighting up the scoreboard, but massive impact. The Pronax way. The old Pronax way.
We didn't even touch on that, but Godsent 0-4 at Summit. Ouch. That was a painful event for him. The Swedes didn't do too hot, man. The Swedes didn't do too hot.
Yeah, Nip got battered, didn't they?
Oof. I mean, considering they wanted to, like, if we want to listen to the reasoning there, where it's just like we just want to get Draken more LAN experience, it's like, okay, fair enough. But that was not pretty.
Did they actually say that somewhere?
Yeah, they did. That was apparently the whole like they weren't going to go originally, but because of the roster change, because they wanted to get Draken more experience before the major qualifiers came up, they were just like, then they decided to go. Apparently, that's the reasoning. I read it in an interview somewhere. If it was Shaheen, the CEO who said it, or one of the players, I can't remember, but apparently that was the reasoning behind going to the event. You know, they got some experience, a little bit.
All right. Yeah, why not? Sure. What a fucking dog shit statement to make. Group B, Immortals, G2, Cloud9, Liquid. You got that guy.
Oh, dude. It'll be G2.
Ooh. G2 and Immortals?
Yeah.
You crazy.
You don't. Oh, wait, hold on. Shit. Because there's Cloud9 in the
bitch.
goddamn group as well. There's Cloud9 in the group.
They got
Is
Shroud.
Skadoodle going?
Yeah.
Okay. If Skadoodle's going, it'll be the full roster, right, for Cloud9. That's a fucking what is this shit? Why do we have Group A and then Group B seems like way more stacked than Group A for some reason? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have a good. Well, I mean, the funny thing is, it's like Group A has like Gambit and Hellraisers, who have like the best results of all those teams. Even Heroic have like best results than anyone in Group B. But Group B is like all 4 teams can like potentially get out of this group, right?
Go deep in playoffs, and well, it's also 3 North American teams in one group as well. That kind of sucks for the crowd at Austin. It's like, by the way, I mean,
Dreamhack.
Like
have you ever heard of rigging the draw? Have you ever heard of this concept?
Maybe, no, I want to work for that again. So I'm not going to say anything, but like some of the shit that you hear from admins sometimes, and you're just like, I hope you're joking, but I hope you weren't serious when you said that to me. But there is this concept. I don't know. I guess it's just if you leave it up to luck of the draw, it can be kind of shitty for your event sometimes, because I'm pretty sure that you would have a lot of people who want to see both Cloud9 and Team Liquid at least make it out. Immortals as well. They've got to have some fans in North America, obviously. So that's a really tough break for that group. It's kind of shitty, kind of hard to call. What do you think? I mean, G2 for me is a given, and then
G2's going to get out, I think.
But after that,
I'd probably take Cloud9. I don't know if Liquid's there yet, and it's so hard to predict like Liquid, just because I feel like they've had a million chances to be that team. They've had like a million prime opportunities to be the best team in North America, and I get the feeling that like Liquid, while like they're one of those teams that since they look so good on paper and just it never kind of comes to fruition, they're just not really winners. Like it's that intangible thing where you can just be like, they're not winners. That's it. That's all I got. I don't have any confidence in this Immortals team, to be honest with you. I never did after Phelps left. I was just kind of, even with FNX coming back and the player that he is, it's just kind of like blah. Like they're just bland to me. Like the conversation is always the same. They're just one of those teams where you can have the same discussion about them every time you're on an analyst desk. It's like, oh, it's like in the flowchart. Will Henny show up and kill things today? Yes. Oh, they have a chance of winning. Will Henny come into this game and shit the bed? No. Okay. Well, they're gonna lose. That's it. That's all you need to know. Those 2 questions.
I just outlined it for you too. Don't worry.
Yeah, nicely done. Production value.
Production value. It's like, do we give a fuck?
Right.
I mean, Like, yeah, no, it really it does feel like a broken record when you talk to Immortal. Talk about Immortals, and I guess that's why like my instant reaction when I see that this group is like I don't even look at. Yeah, you don't even really look at Immortals, do you?
No, I don't.
You're just like, it's.
I mean, we say that, but like there is still like a decent chance. Like the Cloud9 and Liquid, they're not like some unbeatable juggernauts or anything. Especially considering the best we've seen Cloud9 look. By the way, this is the tough part with Cloud9 is take out everything you saw from them at CS Summit because they don't have swag. And he was like one of their best players across the whole event. So it's like, is Cloud9 actually going to be good enough to? We don't even have the answer to that question. So good
painful.
Good times.
I mean, it's like not to.
Why is NA such a shit show?
I don't know, but why do they keep inflicting this pain of like bringing swag back every now and again?
I know, right?
And it's just like, oh, what could be, but no.
It refreshes the Reddit conversation as well, and you have to go through like a week of fucking free Brax threads and everything like that. God damn.
Just public service announcement. It's never going to happen.
Yeah, I don't. No, that ship has sailed. But yeah, look how shit North America is at the moment. Optic doesn't even have a fucking fifth. Playing with Jason R, who doesn't. I don't even know if that'll last. Cloud9, I mean, Shroud and Skadoodle have been the issue for a long time, but I think their in-game leader now also is automatic. They've officially switched it over, and they just played with swag. So I mean, they're kind of up in the air. See where they go. Liquid, like just
you're gonna go default, bro. That's what I'm saying.
Defaults all across the board, every single map. Automatic
as well.
Automatic's going to be that dazed in-game leader. Defaults, boys. Defaults everywhere. That's all we do. Defaults. Run it like Novocaine. Always works.
I swear, I swear that's what's going to happen. I mean, when you come out of Summit and see like the most played map is Cash, you're just like, yes, there will be defaults.
Yeah,
there will be many defaults.
There will be many.
And that's actually really, yeah, that's tough. That's a tough. That's when I think you can, if that's going to be like the meta, right, in NA, when you have the players like Stewie and Automatic, it's like, okay, great, because they have the firepower to thrive in that sort of scenario. If they start getting bitch slapped, though, where do you turn to if you don't have some kind of groundwork laid out, and if you keep flip flopping on your in-game leaders as well? That never speaks to a sound tactical foundation, right? That really does emphasize defaults, guys. Just hit shots, please. Skadoodle, please. Remember when you were in God.
Praying to the call of to Skadoodle to be hitting shots. That's not bad. That's when you know something's gone to shit. Yeah, I mean it's just confusing where they're all at the moment. So yeah, I'll take G2 and Cloud9 to get out of that group. I think Liquid can do it. I don't expect them to, but they obviously have the talent. They have the ability. Twist coming into that team, I think he looked pretty good initially. So that's nice. I mean, what's kind of cool is we see Cloud9 and Liquid at this event. Optic is going to be in Australia, so is SK. So we're in Immortals is here as well. So we're getting all the fucking best teams. Crazy thing about Immortals, as much as we don't really we kind of gloss over them here, they have they're the number 2 seed in the North American EPL.
Online.
Yeah, cheaters, obviously.
I'm just doing my Trump, just like online.
Doing your Trump impression. That's brilliant. Oh no, Cloud9 retains it.
It didn't work. What were they doing? It clearly wrong. It's just wrong. Immortals online. Doesn't he do that with his hands a lot? I don't know. I just saw some clip from the other day. But, dude, it's it does feel like this is one of those events where, despite it being on home soil for the North American teams, you don't. Well, shit. And then this is where it gets interesting as well, because it's like, okay, G2 Gambit, right? They have a method to it, but they still, at least in G2's case, they still heavily rely on the old happy style of 1-3-1 or even like 4-1, right? Where you kind of get that death ball unit together. You have the explosiveness in Kenny to get you through tight spots, as well as Shocks, right, with the rifle, or they even have the double op. They've shown a lot of versatility, but it still feels very much like if it's going to be like the out and out aim fight, G2 could be one of those teams where, if Stewie and Ska or Stewie and Automatic, pop off against G2, I could see the Frenchman struggling a little bit. because it feels like stylistically they could both be pretty similar, right?
Yeah, the issue is if we're going to have like a team like Cloud9 that is doing a lot of defaults, as you say, G2's CT sides have been like pretty aggressive. Like if you think back to like Star Series when they played SK, pushing through Monster and like mid rounds, being aggressive across the map, taking map control, that's going to eat up defaults unless it's just some stellar shots, as you're saying. But like those are tactics designed to just really barrel defaults because everyone's spread out across the map, so you don't have any one concentrated point on the T side. So that kind of mid-round aggression can really be punishing. So yeah, that'll be interesting to see. It also takes advantage of the fact that maybe they don't have an in-game leader, where you don't have that very confident leader that just says, all right, this happened, then this is what we're doing, everyone go. If you don't have that like voice leading every single person to the other bomb site or doing something on the other side of the map, then you're just kind of going to phase out or fizzle out in that round. So yeah, G2 I think is going to be the big one. Cloud9, Immortals can get out, obviously, so can Liquid. That Group B is going to be pretty fun to watch, I think, if I get to see any of it. Probably not, because I'm traveling to Australia. That's going to take...
Yeah, dude. So
nice. 29 hours.
Are you looking forward to your how long? 24, 26, 30?
29. Literally 29.
There you go. Yeah. Have fun with that.
Thank you.
You will start. I mean, dude, the bravery on your part. I
did San Francisco this past weekend.
Yeah, exactly. I'm about to hit like within, there will be 2 days of 60 hours basically. I mean, 2 days. Like that's fucking retarded.
Bro, it's all about status. I'm about to hit platinum.
You gotta get your points.
Not even 5 months into the year, I will have hit platinum status more than likely. That's not bad.
And then you're going to realize, Moses, the way that I realized is that it's fucking worthless.
Nah, bro.
It doesn't do a goddamn thing. It's useless to have it. Once you get gold, that's it. That's all you need. Getting plat or diamond or whatever the hell, it's like you don't get anything more for it. It's just shit.
I get a little thing that says fucking platinum that makes me feel special.
You get a little tag that you can put on your bag.
Yeah, they've got me. They fucking hooked me, haven't they?
They're gonna look at that shit and be like, oh shit, this guy, he travels a lot.
I get upgraded to business and domestic flights pretty much every single time. Once I get platinum, I'm like the first one to be. Yeah.
Who are you flying with again? Delta,
baby.
Okay,
dude,
good. Not United.
Delta doesn't fuck around. Delta is good shit.
Delta can be good, yeah. I granted, there was like the one time where I walked up and I was just like, where am I sitting? Do you have any free seats? And they just gave me like the list of seats, and they were like, pick one. And I was like, okay. And I just picked the emergency exit one, extra leg room. And I was like, okay, that was nice. But that was literally like the one time out of like, I don't know how long I've had diamond hours. It was like, most of the time I'm disappointed. Most of the time it doesn't. It's just like, I got through security faster, sweet. And you can't even do that in the States. You can't even do that in the States.
Yeah, you can.
TSA pre-check shit, whatever.
No, they have Sky Priority security now as well. Listen, I'm getting hooked up. Somewhere. Don't you worry about me. But yeah, 29 hours of travel is going to be a bitch. Not excited for spiders, not excited for snakes, but we are going to go skydiving, which is going to be cool.
I'm so fucking jealous.
Yeah,
when I saw that tweet, I was actually a little pissed.
It was that or cage diving with sharks. And I feel like
fuck, that's a tough one, man. Cage diving with sharks, that's sick as well.
I think I would have done the cage diving.
Fuck yeah. Dude, like great whites, man. Like there's something like that's like looking into a dinosaur, just like a killing machine. That's just, there's nothing there. It is hollow, apart from an ever-burning hunger that will never be satiated. It will eat your ass.
I've seen Deep Blue Sea. That shit was real.
Oh fuck, that's so like I was just watching Planet Earth, David Attenborough and all that, and that scene where it's just like the sharks, the great whites, and they just come flying out of the water because they're just these juggernauts that are going so quick, just slamming into a goddamn like little seal. It just looks like
seal.
It just looks like some little seal.
Yeah, no, that scene's epic. That's like the one you skip to, right? Where you're just like, where the fuck is the great white scene? Where the fuck is the great white scene?
I was just like, oh my god! And then you obviously look at like the shark's eye, and it's just like blackness, and it's so fitting, right? It's just there's nothing there. It's just a machine. It's hunger.
Just like Guardian.
Just like I was gonna say Cold, but like Guardian. Cold smiles too much too. Cold needs to work on his poker face a little bit.
Cold needs to bring that fucking mustache back. That like Super Mario mustache. That was great.
I was gonna go with like Don Cold mustache, but okay, Super Mario works as well. Like you could see him as like some. No, we won't go there. Okay.
You were gonna say Cocaine Runner, weren't you?
Maybe. Some cartel lord, you know, dude.
And on that note, by the way,
and on that note, the day he shows
all right.
up.
Who you got winning Austin? Who you got winning Austin? Winning Austin. Champions of Austin. This is what we'll end on. Champion of Austin. G2?
G2.
I was going to take G2 as well. That's a little anticlimactic, but we both taken the Frenchies, the baguettes. And we're both going to have our hearts broken, I'm sure.
Yeah, we probably will too, because they're gonna go in there and they're gonna be all like, "Oh, we totally got this in the bag, guys. This is totally our event to win. We suckered all the rest of those teams out. They're over in Sydney. Get fucked."
They will shit le bed.
Yeah, the baguette will be soggy. I mean, that sucks. That's there's a high chance, but I mean, when you look at it objectively, it's kind of hard to go against them at the same time, right? You kind of have to side with G2.
Yeah, if they don't win this event, I think that's actually kind of a red flag. I'm not going to lie to you. If this is an event they take, that's kind of like, fuck.
Le fuck.
Le fuck.
On that note, shall we end this travesty of a show?
Yeah, we absolutely should.
Okay. Thanks so much, Jay. Thank you, man, for being here this week. We will be having a show next week as well. Jason won't be able to be a part of it, obviously, because he's going to be running away from spiders down under. But yeah.
Don't even say it. Don't even.
Nope. But guys, thanks all. See you all next week. Be sure to follow and all that jazz. See you all next time.